Let's have a look at how cars in British Rallycross used to look, because Retro Rallycross is a very popular part of the British Rallycross day out, and the retro cars have had their 3 qualifying heats, and Ray Morgan has been the man to beat across the day with the Escort Mark III. Darren Grimston and Paul Easterbrook, 2nd and 3rd as we get ready for the final. The grid is formed, it's a 4-lap race. Ray Morgan getting some air into the car, he's on pole position. The Escort Mark III with Darren Grimston's Vauxhall and Paul Easterbrook's Toyota ahead of Lance Foster, and then Mark Flaherty with Stuart Bowes, Terry Maynard and Paul Smith to complete the grid. It is blast off, and keep your eyes peeled because Mark Flaherty's Metro 6R4 storms through from the 2nd row of the grid. Now, in theory, this ought to be an easy win, you would think, except that to equate the 4-wheel drive car, which won, can you believe, the 2009 British Championship with Lawrence Gibson at the wheel of it, and the rest of the field, he carries a 5-second penalty. In the heats, he had to wait 5 seconds and he was then released. In the final, it is added to his race time. That means he's got to pull away by 5 seconds. If he can't, he doesn't win, simple as that. So Ray Morgan is 2nd on the road look, but he's well within 5 seconds because he's right on the tail of the leader. Down they come, in towards the hairpin at the end of the lap. A left-hand drive, Metro 6R4 of Mark Flaherty. Former winter champion many years ago, had a long layoff from the sport, came back, did a bit of Porsche racing and then back into Rallycross, and last year he also had a supercar to play with. Well, now concentrating on Retro Rallycross, he leads the way on track. Darren Grimston's Vauxhall Nova there, battling with Terry Maynard's Triumph TR7 V8. Terry got excluded from one of the earlier qualifying heats for a couple of jump starts, but he's going really well here at the moment. He's got Darren Grimston up behind him now. Darren is another Croft local. Rallycross is here, he also does single venue rallies here. He's up the inside and they touch and both spin. Round goes the Vauxhall and round goes the TR7 V8 as well. Through it comes the Volkswagen technician Paul Smith in the Polo, and there is the caterer, the fish and chip owner, Stuart Bowes. He's ahead of Paul Easterbrook. Toyota MR2 then, in the hands of the former autocrosser. Paul Easterbrook battles on now. Mark Flaherty, has he got more than a 5-second cushion? Not yet, he's not, but it's close. It looks like he's going to be able to do this as he turns his way through Clervaux Corner. There is Paul Easterbrook battling on, number 360, the rare Toyota MR2. Fish and chip shop owner Stuart Bowes in the Mini battles on. That's a car that traces its origins back to Mike Dresser driving it in period. Always a quick car then, it's a quick car now as well. Paul Easterbrook flicks through the chicane and they're getting himself out of strife. Terry Maynard, but he's lost a lap to these two, and look, Ray Morgan is back on the tail of the leader. That's all he needs to do to win the race. He's within the 5 seconds against Mark Flaherty as they come through the hairpin. It looks as though Ray Morgan is going to do this as they come up towards the timing line. 4-lap race. Of course, coming out of the hairpin, where the traction is required, the 4-wheel drive 6R4 just blasts away. Over the rest of the lap, Ray Morgan closes. Now, is that going to be enough? He's got a lap to go. He's got to stay within 5 seconds. You will not find, by the way, a better enthusiast, a better advocate of the Rallycross sport than Ray Morgan. Loves it. Absolutely great supporter of Rallycross. And if he wins this race, he'll be even more enthusiastic about it. Through the chicane, Mark Flaherty carrying the period Rover Sport decals on the car. He leads on track. There is Darren Grimston recovering after his spin as they work their way up towards Hawthorne now for the last time. They're coming down towards the hairpin. Has Ray Morgan done enough? Has Mark Flaherty done enough? Let's see. Double winner of the John Button Memorial Trophy, Ray Morgan heads up towards the line. Checkered flag time. Mark Flaherty takes it on the road. And Ray Morgan is within 5 seconds, so Ray Morgan wins the final on corrected time. Paul Easterbrook heading up towards the line. He's got the lap Terry Maynard behind him. And Ray Morgan confirmed as the race winner. Mark Flaherty 2nd, Stuart Bowes 3rd from Paul Easterbrook, Darren Grimston and Paul Smith in the championship. Ray Morgan has a 3-point advantage over Mark Flaherty. Paul Easterbrook 3rd after a great day at Croft.